Frame 24. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Neil Robertson still very much in this match, although he's got to win back-to-back frames still to snatch victory from O'Sullivan's grasp. O'Sullivan pursuing his 36th ranking title to equal my colleague Stephen Hendry's record. Do you have any emotions, Stephen, when O'Sullivan's closing in and perhaps surpassing your records?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I said I didn't mind. Obviously, you don't like to see your records being beaten, but I think as soon as I retired, I knew certain records were just going to be not if, but when. And there's no doubt Ronnie's going to surpass, if not tonight, very soon, that total of 36. Oh, so close.
Just caught the near jaw.
One.
Didn't play that as well as he would have liked. That shot, Neil Robertson. It's not always straightforward when the red's right in the jaws of the pocket to get the cue ball out of there. He's a bit closer to the cushion than he would have liked. If he can just drop past this red, it should be okay. Yeah, he couldn't get past the red, but he's got one to the right middle. So first scoring chance.
8. Nine.
You're going back to your question, Clive. I don't think there's any shame in losing records to someone who plays the game like Ronnie O'Sullivan. Pretty good positional shot from Neil Robertson there, with the cue ball in an area. Giving himself the choice of two reds. So many close matches this week, as befits having 8 of the form players of the season all involved. It's been one one-sided match, the match when Ronnie O'Sullivan beat Stuart Bingham.
And what I've liked, and many other people have liked, is that the longer format,
21.
best of 19 and final best of 25, has given scope for ebb and flow
22.
as the plot of each match has unfolded.
Yeah, I think it's almost a shame in a way that this is not the tournament that precedes the World Championship. And these players would go straight from this long frame event straight to the World Championship. They'd be so sharp, so ready for the crucible.
27.
Well, the China Open starts Monday week, and the final there is best of 21 in one day, 2 sessions, 10 and 11. with a £225,000 first prize. So the players who are in it will really be trying.
$28.
O'Sullivan won't be in it, which I think is a wise decision. There is a danger in getting played out before the crucible comes round. Well,
Robertson, 28.
there seemed to be no problem at all for Robertson to build up a very useful lead, but a black off the spot unexpectedly eludes him.
Yeah, that was nothing to do with pressure. That shot, that was just purely concentrating on the cue ball. Putting the cue ball in the right place where he wanted it and took his eye off the pot. Robertson will play the red that's closest to the pink here and flick the other red out the way.
One.
This could be the beginning of the end.
7.
The way the reds are situated is almost like a practice routine. I really couldn't ask for them to be in a better position.
$8.
Stroke that black in beautifully.
50. $60.
It wasn't the cleanest of pots. That's why he's got more angle on this pink than he was planning. It won't be a problem, but it kind of sharpens you up a bit if you play a shot like that and you think, wow, you know, I didn't concentrate properly, I didn't pot that properly. Then you say to yourself, that's not going to happen again.
22. $23.
Again, not the best positional shot he's ever played.
30.
Very unlike Ronnie O'Sullivan to make hard work in a position like this.
It was a slight cutback, but Sullivan made light of the difficulty.
You asked me, Clive, about how I felt about losing
68.
records. Someone who I'm sure will be watching this could be about to lose his #1 ranking, Mark
39.
Selby.
That's right. If O'Sullivan completes his victory, he goes to world #1 for the first time since May 2010. Not because he hasn't always been the man to beat, but
46.
he's tended to play fewer tournaments than other players, particularly this season. Although his success rate in those that he has played has been very high.
47. 52. $53.
Nearly there.
Seven.
Red black or red pink would mean that Robertson would need a snooker.
58.
Yeah, I think my memory from this week will be that yellow he potted against Judd Trump in the deciding frame. There's been some fabulous snooker, as that means Neil Robertson needs a snooker in this frame. It's all over.
65.
O'Sullivan has had his difficult spells today, but there's never been any doubt about his class and his resolution. He really wanted to win this one.
69. 70. Thank you. $74.
Not enough balls left for a century. But all through the match,
78.
O'Sullivan has exploited his break-making opportunities extremely well. His break-making is always the last thing to crack in any
83.
way. So with that 96 clearance, well, make that 89 because of the in-off. Ronnie O'Sullivan beats Neil Robertson by 13 frames to 11 to become the initial Coral Tour Championship champion. He goes to number one for the first time since May 2010. He takes the first prize of £150,000. And with 35 titles, ranking titles, he equals Stephen Hendry's record. Neil Robertson has competed extremely well. He was always trailing, never better than level, after leading very early, 2-0. But it is O'Sullivan's evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, after an incredible week here at the Coral Tour Championship, we welcome our presentation party. Mr. Adrian Osman, the head of sponsorship for Coral, and Simon Brownell, director of World Snooker. We begin with our runner-up, collecting the runners-up medal and prize money of £60,000, Neil Robertson!
Well, Neil, you really challenged Ronnie tonight. You've been a pleasure to watch all week. It's been a big week for you, and I know perhaps the snooker hasn't been at the forefront of your mind, but just sum up how this week has gone for you.
Yeah, overall it's been a brilliant week. Obviously, I certainly would have taken getting to the final, but you know, you know, we both obviously could have played better, but in a best out of 25, you're never going to get the highest of quality of, you know, over 3 sessions. But I thought it was a fantastic contest. We both just gave it absolutely everything, fought so hard. Just disappointed with the way I played the black. It was the wrong shot. I should have just gone into the bunch of reds rather than try to play for a loose red in the middle. And yeah, I was caught in two minds. And then yeah, but you know, he came to the table and he took him like the champion he is. And just want to congratulate him on number one again. Every time we seem to be playing, it's always a milestone of some sorts. But
And Neil, for you, another final here again. Of course, your third final in a row. Things are looking good for you. Off to China and then the Crucible.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, obviously, you know, 3 finals in a row is a fantastic effort. But you know, to lose the last 2 is very disappointing. Even though you know I'm playing the equivalent of the Roger Federer of the snooker table, he's probably even better than that. Well, he is actually, and yeah, he's just an unbelievable player. And but you know, at least he let me play a little bit more than last time. So yeah, looks good going to the World Championships. You know, at least I know that you know, should we meet at some point, then you know I can give him a real good game.
Listen, get home to that family of yours. Well done. Thank you very much for your time this week. Let's have a word with our champion. Ronnie, wow, you know, never failed to deliver. Congratulations again. On top of the world, how does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been driven by number one, because if I was, then I'd probably enter a few more tournaments. So to get to number one, only having played half the tournaments the other guys has, it's probably one of the best achievements, I suppose, in sport across all levels, you know. So I'm delighted, but just, you know, for me it's just about trying to get a bit of silverware now towards the end of my career, because I'm ready for the seniors tour.
You have royally entertained us this week. I think the match against Judd will live long in the memory, and of course the performance in Preston as well. How have you enjoyed this Coral Tour series?
Yeah, it's been all right. Listen, I just want to say, you know, congratulations to Neil. You know, him and Judd have been the 2 best players so far this season, along with myself. You know, so if one of us 3 doesn't win the world, I'd be very surprised. You know, because the consistency that we've been showing through the season, you never know. But to me, this guy here, he's got the Rolls-Royce Q action. You know, he's got the courage, the ability, and he will definitely win more world titles because he has the bottle. He's proved he can do it. And I just think it was a good advert for snooker this week. A great tournament. The crowd have been fantastic. You know, I just want to thank my sponsors, Affinity. They've been really good. You know, supporting me, and obviously Bet Chris. You know, they've been fantastic. They've without their support for the last 3 or 4 years, it would have been a lot tougher. So, you know, I need to thank all them people, because you just don't do it on your own. So it's been a good team effort, but yeah, thank you.
Well, listen, I'm going to let you get presented in a moment. Just to say, I know that the records aren't top of your list of importance, but that was your 36th ranking title record, now level, of course, with Stephen Hendry. Wouldn't it be nice to go past him at the Crucible?
Yes. Honestly, I'm not driven by records. Obviously, I just like to play, and I like to enjoy the game. I like to play well all the time if I could, and when I don't, I get a bit disappointed, a bit hard on myself. But I've learnt to be a bit easy on myself. So, but we'll see. Listen, whatever happens, it's been a good career, and I just enjoy playing. And you know, I think the seniors tour is ready for me now. I'm too old for all this business. It's too hard work trying to cut up these youngsters. You know, all this grey hair, and it's not easy.
Doesn't look that way. Listen, I'm going to let you collect another trophy here. Ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner collecting the Coral Tour Championship trophy. Prize money of £150,000 and the title of 2019 Coral Tour Championship, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan!
Well, we have got rather used to seeing Ronnie O'Sullivan lifting silverware on ITV Snooker. And there he is again with the inaugural Tour Championship trophy. Stephen Hendry, that's his 36th ranking title. He looks at times to be in the form of his life. We've seen a little bit of everything this week from Ronnie, haven't we? We've seen patience, we've seen power, we've seen sublime snooker, we've seen the full gambit.
Yep, and he had to battle his demons tonight in the way he was playing. He showed a lot. As I said in the commentary, it's the most animated I've seen him for a long time in regards of showing out about bad shots and whatever. But in between that, there was so much brilliance, individual brilliance. It was just it was great to watch.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, all of the things you mentioned and the frustration, which often has seen him lose matches. But he seemed to be able to channel that in an aggressive way and still come through. You know, there were times when he didn't even look like he was under pressure. He was just playing like sort of freewheeling through frames at the end of that match. Quite difficult to do, so close to a win.
And, you know, Alan, he's been the man we've talked about all week, obviously coming off the back of Preston. Yet he soaks up all that pressure, the attention, the focus, and he delivers time after time, even when he is, as Neil says, sometimes not getting the shots, not getting the run of the ball that he wants.
It's a good point, because he does. He comes into every tournament now as the overwhelming favourite, and he lived up to it, we'll have to say. He's got every way of playing now. He can dig out results, you know. He can win close frames. He can do it in every which way you want, and he's the best at the moment. And going into Sheffield, he's the man to beat. Let's
take a look at how he won this final then. This is the last frame.
Yeah, this, as Stephen said, was just a lapse of concentration. He's playing for a couple of reds to left middle, and at this level you're going to get punished. These two shots, incidentally, by Ronnie to follow up are not easy. Little blind red, same with this pink, and when he potted the pink guys, you think it's done and dusted.
Neil will be disappointed the way he's lost this match with a black off a spot. Poor way to lose the last frame, because he had a decent chance there, but once he lost it, it was just inevitable, wasn't it, what was going to happen?
Well, I think that was the shot when you know the game's over, because he played the ground. He's got remarkable cue ball control there, and never more than just that one shot alone, which showed you exactly what it is. And the fact is, you know, he's won this event, and he looks by far and away the best pro in the world. I think that Neil Robertson chucked everything he had at him. I thought he's almost a little emotional when he spoke to you, Jill, there at the end, as if, you know, I've given everything I can. He's won the lot, hasn't he? He's got everything. He's got the Coral Cup standings. He's won that. He's won the, I don't know, 36 ranking events. He's just got everything,
and
he's
creeping very close towards £1 million worth of prize money in a season, which is phenomenal, given, as you say, he doesn't play in all the events.
Yeah, and he just plays to win. That's the beauty of it. You know, he doesn't play for money. He plays for his own kind of satisfaction and try to perform the way he knows that he can. He said many times he thought he was this good when he was a kid, and that's the reason he plays now. And I think he's got his schedule bang on. You know, he doesn't play in everything.
I think the other thing we saw today, particularly towards the end of the match, we say he was animated. You know, you could see from the look on his face when things didn't go his way. He wanted this, and I think, you know, when you look at the career that he's had, the trophies that he's won, he still wants it.
Yeah, this is the kind of trophy that Stephen would have, you know, if he was still playing or this was around you'd love to have won this one, because it's a high-profile event, it's an 8-man event, the cream are in it over long matches, and it would have suited you if it had been, I know one thing, you'd have been in it every year, probably #1 seed, but, you know, it would have been something you'd love to have played in.
Absolutely, you want to prove yourself against other best players in the world, and I think that's why he showed so much emotion when he beat Judd Trump, because Judd Trump had beaten him in the final of the Masters, and I think that was a massive win for Ronnie, and that's why he showed so much after he'd done it. But yeah, these are the events that will get Ronnie's juices flowing. That's why he doesn't play in everything, but these sort of things, yeah, and it's frightening for the others. He's going to have 3 weeks rest before Sheffield.
And that's what suits him. He picks his tournaments because that's how he feels he can get the best out of his game. Obviously, we've had this big, long final today, best of 25. Great preparation for the Crucible. You know, we say it's a joint now with you on 36 ranking title wins. You know, it could happen in it could happen in Sheffield.
It's not if, it's when, isn't it? I knew that when I retired. All the century breaks, the maximums, everything. It was if not when. So yeah, I'm expecting it. But he is. Ronnie said out there, it's the first time I've sort of heard him big up his own chances of the world. He says one of him, Robertson or Trump will probably win it.
And do you know why that could be? I mean, he's only lost to 4 opponents this season, and only one of those is the top 16 player, Judd Trump. The others all outside the 16 in the world. So why is anyone going to beat him?
Yeah, it's going to be a big job for anyone to beat him. It's a good point Stephen made. 3 weeks rest before the big one.
OK. Well, just a reminder, we've barely recovered from Cheltenham and we're off racing at Aintree. It's the Grand National Festival, of course. It starts on Thursday, the 4th of April. Every day the build-up from 9:30 on ITV4 in the opening show. And then from 2 o'clock, you'll have live racing on ITV and STV. And if you've enjoyed the Coral Series, who couldn't have enjoyed the Coral Series? We have got more snooker coming your way at the end of the year. On the 4th of November, we will all be back at the Rico in Coventry for the Champion of Champions. My thanks to the guys. Great to have you with us. Thanks to you for joining us. Thanks to Phil and Didno, and thanks to Ronnie. He's only gone and done it again.